Hello, my friends. Welcome back. My name is Drake, and this is Touching the Edge. And this is the 40-day commitment to having more of a yes to life. Having more of a yes to life. And, 40 days seems like a long time, almost 6 weeks, but at the same time, each day of the 40 days is crucial. Each day of the 40 days brings you substantially closer to being who you want to be. And so, one of the tools of the 40 days is are called the three pillars. The three pillars. Originally, that comes from the three pillars of Zen. Three pillars are study, doing practice, and having connection with the community. Study, practice, and community. That's the three pillars. And so, I want to bring back Books on Thursday. Books on Thursday. And I love books. And so I want to show you just some books that have had an influence in my life over time. The first one I want to show you today is called Loving What Is by Byron Katie. Loving What Is. It's a journaling technique, and it's a journaling technique that gives you a very specific set of questions and a very specific system that you just keep answering these questions and flipping the questions, and gradually you begin to lose charge and the attractiveness to the stuff that just seems to be unable to let go of. The stuff that you just obsess over, you keep running it in your mind over and over again. Loving What Is a system to support us with that. Second book, Rumi. Rumi, The Essential Rumi. First of all, Coleman Barks is one of the major translators, and this is a great, great book. Excuse me. So Rumi is one of the essential Sufi teachers and poets. Sufism has some of the most incredible poetry, some of the most beautiful poetry. It has, poetry that speaks of God as the beloved. It's almost like having a romantic love for God. It speaks of God being that which you love in anyone that you love. So when you love anyone, that you're loving God in them. And Rumi is the greatest, for me, of the Sufi poets. I highly suggest Rumi. Third book, and for me, spiritual life is not just only reading about spirituality. It's a source code that we find in everything, in any book, in novels, even novels purely for entertainment, and certainly books about great people, the lives of great people, and the circumstances of our world. This is one of my all-time favorite books, Parting the Waters. Parting the Waters by Taylor Branch. This actually won the Pulitzer Prize when it came out. It's about Martin Luther King and his life up until 1963, but it's actually beyond Martin Luther King. It's really the history of our country. It's the history of the civil rights movement, and particularly focusing on the history of the Black preacher movement in America and how that eventually created Martin Luther King. Another thing I really love about it is it really highlights heroes of the civil rights movement who, risked so much and sometimes gave their lives. People that are not famous, like the great civil rights heroes that we all have heard of. Some of them have fallen below the radar, but their stories are incredibly compelling. Another person who stands out for me as they describe this book is Bayard Rustin, who was a gay communist in the 50s. So, that didn't leave a lot of things to not, in the 50s, a gay communist was going to be targeted. And so they were forced to drop him from the civil rights movement. In the early 60s, he was the organizer of the March on Washington, so he was truly a civil rights hero, and also standing for his rights as a gay man in a way at a very challenging time. So a book I truly love. So get going, start reading, read all kinds of stuff. Read stuff that is spiritual. Read stuff that's inspirational. Read biographies and autobiographies. Read novels that you love. Don't just read. Listen to podcasts. Find different ways of study. Study is one of the major elements of developing a meditation and spiritual practice, as well as a manifestation practice. So Thank you so much. I'm going to ring the bell. Listen carefully. One of the things I love is when you read or hear something that you've never heard before, but when you hear it, you know it's true. You already knew it was true before you heard it. That's a powerful thing. It's about studying and finding that resonance within yourself. I bring my hands into prayer position. I bow to you. Can't wait to see what you will do. Namaste.